Thank God I'm Dave Schpok. It's great to be alive. It's great to be alive. Can you say that? Just say it's great to be alive. We're doing this repeating thing today. All right, let's start with thank God I'm me.
Thank God I'm me.
It's great to be alive.
It's great to be alive.
Yeah. Let it sink in. You can stop now. Because that could get really long and really complicated. You know, one of the things, like today's talk is the attitude of gratitude. Now we hear about that all the time. You know, some of us more than others, but you catch it everywhere that this attitude of gratitude thing is out there, and it's a good thing to do. And sometimes it's easier than other times. Right? So I was thinking about this as I put this together, because I like talking about this in November, because it's Thanksgiving month, and it's an attitude of gratitude kind of month, and we kind of look at the things and try to get grateful about it. And it's easy to be grateful for the good things. You know, everybody can look at their life and say, wow, this is cool. Look at that little thing that happened. This person I loved, you know, called me and I said hello and it was great and we reconnected. I got to sit next to a friend on Sunday morning, whatever. You know, there's all sorts of great things going on that we notice, and those are the good things that we want to go, yeah, that's beautiful. I'm so grateful for that. And there are a lot of things like that that I'm grateful for. Like, I started a new day job. I'm going to call it my day job because this is my real job. So my day job started last Monday. And right before that, I was looking at it and I said, I've got 2 cars in my family. One of them's got 108,000 miles on it. The other's got almost 200,000 miles on it. And this job is about 50 miles away. I was looking at this and going, this ain't going to work. Because neither one of these cars is going to be able to do that on a regular basis. And I'm going, okay, I got to go get a car. I don't like buying cars. I buy a car about once a decade, you know? And I had a little bit of anxiety because I haven't applied for a loan in a long time because I haven't needed one in a long time. And so I found a car that I liked. It was a really beautiful little car sitting outside. I have a lot of fun driving it. You know, it's neat to be in this new car. And I found the place I was going to get it, and I went to my bank and said, okay, I want, you know, to apply for this loan, not sure whether I was going to get it or not. And then I went, you know, they didn't respond fast enough for me because now that I had something in my sights, I was hunting and it was going to be mine. And so I went online and I did their little online application at the car dealership. And the car dealer came back with it like, you know, he said, text me as soon as you send this in because he wanted to close the deal. It was the 1st of November. Right, so, okay. So I texted him that I had sent the application in. He texts back 5 minutes later. 5 minutes later and says, you've got great credit. I'm like, wow, now there's something to be grateful for. I mean, I hadn't had a steady job in over 18 months, you know? And I was looking at it and going, other than this, which I love to do. I mean, this is kind of like getting paid for doing what you would do without getting paid for it anyway, you know? Which is what my working career has been for most of my life. I've been blessed with that because of the attitude. The attitude that, isn't this a wonderful thing that's happening to me? You know, so I got the car and I got the loan and I'll get the coupon book, but it won't happen for December, and I'm really grateful for that. They also left, go figure, in the glove compartment.
That's your owner's manual?
This is my owner's manual. Right? It's like, wow, that's cool. I was looking for a new version of the Bible. And it just came along with the car. Makes one wonder, you know? So the reason that we want to focus on gratitude and being thankful for our lives, thankful for the things in our lives, we can start with the good stuff because that's the easy part. But you are what you think about. That's what we teach in New Thought. You are what you think about. So if you're thinking about all the good things in life, guess what you're being? All the good things in life. If you're receiving the good that's coming into your life and recognizing that it's present right here and now, that you can be happy about what you have, regardless of what you don't have. You have a choice to be happy about what you have, to develop an attitude that says, I can find the good in this situation right now and be happy. Guess what you're going to get more of? This is New Thought, folks. You think about the good stuff, that you're grateful for, more of that shows up in your life so that you can be grateful for it. This is also true in the reverse, because in New Thought, we're dealing with principles. It's not choosing for good things to be in your life or bad things to be in your life. It's allowing you the choice to decide how you're going to accept those things in your life, whether they're good or bad. The principle is working the same. So if you're thinking about situations in which they're maybe not quite as positive as the ones that make you feel warm and fuzzy, guess what the law is going to do for you? Here's some more of that until you decide, I don't want that anymore. So one of the things that I was thinking about in this attitude of gratitude is that gratitude actually has a couple of different components. And it can mean a couple of different things to different people. So for me, gratitude is that feeling of connection and joy that the reading was talking about, that Adam was talking about, that's not focused around necessarily the things of life, but it's that feeling of completeness within myself. Some people call that grace. The understanding of the goodness of my life. And when I'm in that, it feels warm and fuzzy, and I feel confident and whole and complete. And I'm able to go out and be joyous during the day. To recognize the joy in other people. So that's one way that gratitude affects me. That I receive this gift of the feeling. And that's part of it. And then there's another part of gratitude for me, which is that gratitude is not a receptive word, it is an action word. It is a word that when I feel grateful, and I want to feel more grateful for things, I need to connect with the people around me in all of my life, wherever I'm encountering life, which guess what, is all the time, everywhere we go, in every moment that we're conscious. Including probably those where we're sleeping too, but I'm not going there today. When we encounter life and we recognize that truth, if I want to be grateful, I have to do things that I would be grateful for being done to. Now I say I have to do them because I want to feel grateful. Nobody has to do them. You make a choice. So I want you to, for a moment, just close your eyes for just a second. We're going to do meditation later, so this is not a meditation. Close your eyes for a second and pick a moment in which you felt grateful and were doing something about it. Where you were connecting with somebody else. And you just felt like, I want to give of myself. Everybody got one? Okay, you can open your eyes now. It's a 30-second vacation. You can come back and just bring that feeling with you, right? About and how it made you act and how you came out of that and where you were going with that, right? Now I want you to step out of yourself in your mind. Turn around and be the other person that was involved in that. And how they received your grateful being. How they perceived your attitude. Okay? This is where the attitude of gratitude comes in. Think about an experience that any of us have where you walked into a retail shop and the person behind the counter just had a really negative attitude. And you're like, let me get this done as quickly as possible because I want to be away from you. Perhaps it developed into a discussionment. Or some other level of non-harmonious communication because of the attitude that was creating the barrier. Now think about this. Anybody ever been in that place, that state of mind where you were in that negative attitude? Maybe once, a little bit of time. Yeah, and then if you step outside yourself and look at yourself and go, oh, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near you right now. That's how when I do it for myself. I'm not saying you guys. I love being near you guys. You're wonderful. But when I look at myself and being that way, say, no wonder that person was angry at me. Look at the jerk I was being. So part of stepping out of yourself is to look at it, like when we're being in an active form of gratitude and being that in the world, we're being something somebody wants to receive. And that too, by the law of attraction, is going to come back to you in your experiences. When you're being loving and open and joyous, now that other person may not immediately respond that way. But imagine being that other person who is in this dark place of anger or fear or whatever happens to be agitating their soul, and somebody comes to them in a bright, cheerful, grateful manner and says, do you need somebody to talk to? just to hear what your problem is. And we've all been there, where we needed to just talk through some anger to get to a place where we could release it. But the gratitude comes that the other person was willing to listen with an open mind. You know, what a place to be that grateful expression of not judging somebody, but just allowing for them to be who they are and loving them nonetheless. And the love can be on a friendship level, or it could be on a deep, intimate level. And those things that come forward in those moments, that brings the part of gratitude that's the feeling. So when we get out of ourselves and our anger and our desires, leave it all behind, as you were saying, and move towards a place where we're giving of ourselves, of the good of ourselves, we get to experience more of this gratitude in and around our lives. And the people around us generally get happier because we get happier. That's the third part of gratitude. Being in a place of gratitude allows us to experience happiness more clearly. It's very difficult to be happy when you're griping about what you don't have, or what you want and can't seem to get. It's a very good place to get. You can be on that downward spiral, and the universe will say, yes, 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 yes. Here's some more of that to verify your old idea. Or you can get on the upward spiral, change the idea, and say, you know what? I need to look at what I'm grateful for. I'm breathing and I'm this side of the dirt. That's a good thing to be grateful for. You know? Then you can add to that a little bit at a time. Wow, I've got family that loves me. Maybe not at the moment, but I can do something to change that. It could happen. I've got friends who care about me, who call and connect with me. And then add the material stuff. You know, we're not here to deny that there's pleasure in material things. You know, it's nice to have a new car. I swear to God it is. It's really cool to be driving a car with under 100,000 miles on it. You know, that's a good thing. It makes my life happier. It makes my life more functional. We're not denying that there is good in material things. But it's not really the material things, it's how we feel about them that is bringing forward an idea of gratitude. You know, so if we feel that we need this to be successful, then the universe is perfectly happy with saying, yes, have this to be successful so that you can feel more complete and whole and an expression of divine love. And let that come into your life by recognizing the good that you already have. Here's the trick to all this. You can't just say it. You actually have to do it. It starts with the intention. And I will recommend this, and I think every person who is a motivational spiritual teacher or speaker recommends this on a regular basis. Start a gratitude journal, if you don't already have one. Write down the things that you're grateful for on a daily basis. Make sure it's in the forefront of your mind. And if they get to seem a little stale, here's where the trick comes in. Start to be grateful for the things that aren't necessarily so warm and fuzzy and pleasant. Because those things are what teach us and allow us to grow into more mature human beings. More deeply aware of our spiritual nature and bring us into a fuller understanding of our unity with this. Because when somebody comes at us and it's not a pleasant situation, just remember there's something we're learning here. There's something that is being mirrored for us, because believe me, if you see it, you got it. So if you're seeing something that distresses you in somebody else, it's only because it's resonating with something you don't like in yourself. So that lesson can be one of gratitude. I'm grateful to be able to grow into a better expression of divine love. And that takes a little bit of a challenge. That's the practice part of it. The do it part of it. Because it's easy to say I'm grateful for all the good in my life, but to be grateful for the events in our life that were painful, that we grew from, that we became the people that we are today, that's taking it to the next level of spiritual awareness. It's bringing forward an idea that we can be godlike in our love. That's what we are. We're an individualized expression of an infinite love, embodied right here by divine appointment to be that expression and grow back towards that expression of the fullness of love. That's our challenge as human beings. That's why we raised a hand and said, I'll go play on planet Earth. I'll accept the challenge. And I'll move back loveward from wherever it is I start. Because we can all grow. We can all get to the place where we can say, thank God I'm me. It's great to be alive. Thank God you're you. I'm so grateful you're here. Namaste.